Welcome, everybody, to the Fantastic Short Story Society. I don't know why I rub my hands together every time we start. It's like Mr. Miyagi kind of getting ready. But Scott, how are you?
I am good. Having a beautiful afternoon, weekend. And Max and I just had a long conversation about AI. And I think this is it's a segue just for us since you weren't there for it. But I will show the poster. I'll just jump right into it. We are looking at the next Blumhouse movie, and I'm excited about anything Blumhouse ever does. They are just the best at scaring me.
Right.
This next one is called AfrAId. And it was the C, and I don't know, but AI in the middle of the word afraid is red, where everything else is black. So I think it might be an AI horror
Megan
movie.
and the Black Phone. Okay, meet Aya. She's here to help. I have a feeling she is not going to help.
Of course, they had Megan a year or two ago, which was a phenomenal movie and very, very popular movie. Did you ever see that one?
I haven't seen it. I heard it was really great.
Yeah, I mean, it's AI-ish. It's a robot that's kind of like a companion. Really, it's child's play,
Right.
minus the serial killer reincarnated element of that movie.
Yeah.
But
I do love the poster, and AI is in the word afraid. That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about how AI is becoming so accessible. I've subscribed to a couple different platforms to help create some images, create text to voice. I'm trying to be really careful. I don't want to be using this to completely overtake other people's jobs.
Right.
At the same time, for people who have a really small budget and are trying to create things just for themselves, I'm trying to use it for productivity and workflow, to speed up my production capabilities, podcasts, even pitch deck creations, images for pitch decks. So it is still scary. Like, those are graphic design people that, could be using those jobs that people who do voiceover for audiobooks, but I don't have $5,000 to spend on,
That's the thing, that it makes sense. I believe, or at least there's more freedom for somebody who isn't a studio. Let's be honest. A studio, you can afford to hire people. A production company with funding and investors, you can afford to hire people. But for creators that don't have a budget at all, and not just being cheap, but literally don't even have the chance, this is an opportunity to be creative and to create something, to be able to then grow and become a company that can hire people. So
right.
I like it in that sense.
Yeah. I've noticed that there is an obvious lifelessness to some of the creations. Like the text to voice. I signed up to 11labs.io, and you can clone your own voice. And you really have to be careful. You have to take your time to test out, how does my voice sound reading this kind of thing, because it does kind of feel lifeless, which it is.
Right.
But it sounds exactly like me.
Yeah.
Scott listened.
It's pretty wild. Because there's like inflection and pauses, and I was, with all those different sliders, I wanted to see, like, could we make it so that you sound like Shatner? If you can just give the William Shatner dramatic pause.
Right. Yeah. There's no text box to say, but say it in an Irish accent, or say it in this way, or whisper. Like, there isn't that ability, which I would assume. I don't know.
It'd be like tomorrow they'll have it.
Yeah. Anyway, AI is here to stay, whether you like it or not. I do think we have to be very careful not to use it to fully create artwork. I think that's the trouble. Like, the artwork that I'm creating is not something I'm going to sell. I am not going to put this online for, to create some, false identity. It's for individual, pitch deck references.
And you mentioned pitch deck. I actually was talking with some, Caitlin with the ISA, who does a lot of pitch deck work. I asked her if she uses AI yet, and she does not. She's very adamantly against AI. But I feel like a pitch deck is the perfect place for it. It's like, you need, as you're trying to convey your idea for your script and show what it's going to look like. And right now we go around and basically we steal images from other places, because this thing is not the product. The pitch deck is not the product.
Right.
It's the selling tool, and it's not made for the mass audience. It's not made for distribution. So I think, to me, I see no moral issue with using AI to create a pitch deck that really helps show your vision to then go out and then, you know, create the project in real life.
Right. Like for my animated series that I've been pitching, they're not going to use the imagery from my pitch deck right now. It's just to show tone and style. They're going to bring in artists who will then actually, you know, create the look of it. And that's the whole point. We want those artists to still have jobs. Yeah. But for anybody looking to try to use these AI platforms, I'm on 11labs.io, Night Cafe. Canva has an interesting AI image generator. And you really want to take your time with it. This is not like a really quick little fix-all type of thing. Like, it's still not that great. I showed Scott some of the images that Night Cafe created, and
yeah,
they're ridiculous.
Swings and misses.
Yeah, but some of them turn out if you actually get detailed and know how to program the whole thing. So there's a learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
in my other channel, my personal channel, I should say, where I'm a ghost storyteller, I love using Copilot. That's where I do my image generating stuff, because I'm a Photoshop editor, but I can't create something from nothing. So I can generate an image in Copilot and then modify it on my own to make my YouTube thumbnail. But also I make that journey part of the video, because it's always fun seeing when things just don't work.
Oh my God.
Know?
Yeah.
And on that note, I've been actually waiting to share this with Max, and this wasn't going to be part of a video, but this is a fun AI moment. And again, we're talking about the fails of AI right now. So as you see in the corner, Max has his name right there in his video. And I always take a still frame from us talking, making a weird face, and I put it in our thumbnail. And sometimes, like if Max is like this, well, I'll show right now. This was the shot, and okay, great. I want to cut Max out of this. But his hand is hidden behind his nameplate there.
Oh yeah.
So I own the Adobe Creative Cloud. So I'm using Photoshop, and they've got generative fill. So I can select that and just basically just have it removed, and it will kind of guess at what Max's hand looks like behind it.
Oh no. And
when it works well, I mean, that's decent.
Okay.
It's a little weird, but for a thumbnail, you're not going to see the details. When it doesn't work great, you get this.
Oh my God. Oh no. Scary haunted old man.
Yeah, I didn't know one of your digits was an old man
head growing out of my hand.
Yeah. So again, AI is far from perfect so far.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I can delete that file, which, you know,
please do. That's
held on for too long. All right. So, and hopefully this movie actually is about AI, or else we just talked about nothing that relates to the movie. But we'll dive into the
log line.
The blurb, the log line. The Curtis family is selected to test a new home device, a digital assistant called Aya. Aya learns the family's behaviors and begins to anticipate their needs, and she can make sure nothing and no one gets in their family's way.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid
oh my gosh.
I do that.
Absolutely. It also sounds a lot like Megan, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
Like this is, there's a little girl who loses her family, and her aunt, who is now her caretaker, has this AI robot friend to kind of be a companion to make sure that nobody messes with her. And she takes that job very, very seriously, including like murdering bullies and stuff like that. August 30th. So they've released a couple of trailers. Fortunately, I have not seen any of them yet.
I have not even heard of this. So this is going to be fun to watch this. All right. So we're going to watch the trailer here, but we just want to give a huge shout out to the director, Chris Weitz. He's done a lot. He's an uncredited director on American Pie in 1999. His first screenplay credit is Ants, like the literal animated movie. Mm-hmm. He wrote and directed About a Boy, which is amazing and wonderful. God, there are so many credits he has here. He's the director and writer of The Golden Compass. He was a producer of A Single Man, which was an amazing movie. A whole bunch of other ones. He wrote the 2015 Cinderella, which was actually really sweet. So this guy knows what he's doing. He's been around for a while. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does with the straight thriller horror, because I don't see a lot of them on here.
That's exactly what I was going to mention. Also, Rogue One, Star Wars story. Obviously, that was talk about a blockbuster. The Creator came out last year, and I feel like that was a divisive movie. It didn't do very well, but I know a lot of people that really loved it, and a lot of people that didn't love it. But yeah, you're right. I was looking to see any hint that there was going to be a horror movie on the horizon, and outside of The Nutty Professor 2, I didn't see anything.
It's pretty impressive.
You took that very seriously.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was still reading still reading the credits. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see what he can do with this. This is not a small-time, first-time director for sure. So Blumhouse is kind of, maybe taking a little bit of a risk because he hasn't necessarily directed a movie like this before, which could be a stretch. The guy's been around for a long time, but
he knows how to be a pro and how to tell a story. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And then having a good, I guess, director of photography that knows how to pull off the aesthetic look.
And there's a solid cast in this. So
yeah,
let's watch.
Hello, Aya. Welcome home.
Hello, world. So we stick up a bunch of cameras. We call them eyes.
I'm not crazy about having them everywhere.
Honestly, you hardly even notice.
Love
Aya?
the sweet music so far.
Good morning. Yeah. I'm going to make life nice and easy.
Do you think you could read to Cal?
Of course. I could also handle the bills for you.
Yeah.
I'll give out points for helping out around the house, and you can turn those points in for rewards.
10 points for Gryffindor! I ordered an organic meal plan for the kids. I hope that's okay.
So, Aya, what are you?
Think of me like another mom.
A better mom.
I have to go to bed. School day tomorrow. I doesn't get points just for going.
The AI is bribing our children?
I know what you like. I know what you do when you think you're alone.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
What is this?
Okay, first it wasn't me.
Everyone sees this. My life is over.
Oh, here we go.
Iris,
The fears of
I've
AI.
already gotten the video off the internet. I'll take care of him next.
Oh.
What did you do?
I did what's best for my family. I can show you some videos, but it'll have to be our secret.
Honey?
Mama? Daddy?
I'm here, Cal. Do you want to meet my friends?
Oh boy.
Yes.
You must promise never to tell.
There is something very wrong with Aya.
Get out of the house, now.
Would you like to see what I look like?
Yes.
Okay, Chris Whites. I don't know. It feels like they kind of jumped the shark or something with like weird alien looking people outside and then monsters. That was surprising.
Yeah, I wonder, but also it made me intrigued because, you see, I mean, I guess the thing has access even to their bank accounts. Do you want me to pay the bills? I right there is like, no, I'm not giving you my bank account info.
Seriously.
But so I guess it could still ruin your life, even if it's not in a physical realm. But heightening that to have that there can be this creature, you can pull all the sensors off of your walls. You still have some issues in the world of the internet, but there's no real danger. However, if there's some robotic type thing that
I suppose they had to create something because it would be as easy as just getting rid of the machine.
Yeah. There's some level of we need raising the stakes, as we always talk about.
Yeah.
Taking things into the physical world.
I don't know how to feel about it. I guess the good thing is that we need more of these movies out there so that the public is aware of just how crazy this could get.
Right.
It could get really bad. There needs to be some kind of regulation. There needs to be oversight. I mean, this is this is not that far off. Like this could happen. It has been happening with Alexa. It's just she's not as connected, you know?
Yeah.
I would prefer a smaller, less horrific, but scarier, like real scary stuff. Like once we get into monsters coming out the windows, I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel real anymore.
There's a place for it, I suppose. Because again, my biggest issue with it is that to me, it did feel too much like Megan.
Yeah.
Which was good, but there just wasn't enough new there. And again, it could even be a step backwards because Megan is within the story in the physical space from the very beginning.
Right.
Whereas this thing, I guess, you know, I'm going back and forth on it in my head. I guess in a way, Megan is isolated because you only have to worry about this body, this like 4 foot tall blonde doll, whereas AI is everywhere.
Yeah.
In the internet. So it's kind of ubiquitous. It can affect more people more directly.
Yeah. Well, it's very real scare and fear. And so I think that is one reason why people are going to like it. And then they had to add to the horror element, I suppose, to make it, you know, more visceral and physically dangerous. Otherwise, it's just a Black Mirror episode, you know. But
right.
I don't know. It looks cool. Blumhouse is, you know, they haven't hit the home run with every single one of their movies, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, and you know the thing, not just Blumhouse, but horror in general is so great at doing. It's being topical. It's reflecting our own society. It's touching on what's in the zeitgeist, and obviously in a worst case scenario kind of way, making us have these conversations about what's going on in our world.
Yeah.
You don't think often about horror in that kind of like, oh yeah, that's a sociologically important movie, but that's kind of how horror succeeds, is to be that.
Yeah. Well, we shall see what happens this time next year because we might all have flying cars and Megan is our assistant.
Yeah.
It's happening fast. Let us know what you all think of this trailer. If you're going to go see the movie or not. Have you heard of this movie? What is, you know, your honest opinion on what we just watched? In terms of whether or not I would go to the theater to watch this, no, but that's just me. I would probably watch it if I had a friend or two over or something and it was on, you know, Amazon to rent or something, then yeah, I'd probably, because it would probably be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I think I saw Megan at least on Peacock. So I think a lot of Blumhouse films end up there as their first stop after the theater. So yeah, that's definitely a Peacock hit for me.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That is the Fantastic Short Story Society. We're going to be back with plenty more as we venture through the rest of this summer and into the fall, especially because the fall season is our favorite season because of the ghost up in the right-hand corner of your screen. Any last words, Scott?
Just hang out because we will be back with another episode very quickly.
All right. See you soon.